My name is Andrew Flynn. I'm the music director for Fiddler on the Roof, and I'm also playing the role of Tevye. So as the music director, primarily I help our rehearsal accompanists get through rehearsals and learn cues and cutoffs and when to come in, and then also work with the vocalists. This year I've just been working with the soloist, and we had someone else that came in and worked with the ensemble. But the music director's job is just to put all of that together and start working with the pit when they come in for the last few rehearsals. So all through rehearsals, we have been working with our rehearsal accompanist, Joyce Fritchley, and then during performances, she plays less of her part that she has been because it gets picked up by other players. We have a trumpet player, clarinet, flute, bass guitar, drum set, and then 2 keyboard players that fill out the whole, well, fill out most of the orchestration. If we had more room, we would have more instruments. Oh, and this year, we actually have a fiddle. We have a violin player coming from Robinson, Illinois, and so we have a real fiddler on the roof. We don't put her on the roof, we just keep her here in the fishbowl. We're very lucky this year to have Warren Whitecamp be our pit conductor, and he has been working on his own musical at his school, and so he's come in this last week and a half, and I've shown him notes, and we've gone over things. He has observed some rehearsals, and now that he has taken over the pit, things are going well, and it's exciting to get to be in a show, but then also to get to help that music progress as we get to the final moments. Fiddler on the Roof is the most tragic, heart-wrenching, sad musical I've ever seen or been a part of, while at the same time being one of the funniest and most uplifting shows that there is. So the first song, Tradition, it's got 2 bigger monologues and a lot of single lines every now and then, but I think the first song, the combination of the music, introducing the audience to this whole village of Tevye and the different characters that are in it, along with Tevye's conversations with the audience. So Tevye talks to himself, Tevye talks to God, Tevye talks to the audience in these monologues, and this one, the opening scene, is a combination of all of that. I like that the tradition theme is kind of woven throughout the whole show. Sometimes it's the full solo, and sometimes it's just a couple notes here and there. But then every character, or every group of characters, like the daughters, they have their own unique song, and it kind of really speaks to their characters and what they're going through. Sometimes it's the I wish song or the I want song, and then sometimes it's the why did this happen to me song. A matchmaker is the 3 daughters coming together, and there's tempo changes and mood changes and key changes, and sometimes the music repeats and sometimes it doesn't, and it's I think the hardest one to put together. I think my favorite song is the Havala sequence. Hava is Tevye's daughter that kind of goes rogue of all the daughters, and it's really a heartfelt song between Tevye and God, or Tevye and Hava, or a combination of both. And it's the most unique of all the songs. It's very light and lyrical. So Fiddler on the Roof was the second musical I ever did, and it was here at OCC back in the late 90s in 8th grade. I got to play the part of Model the Tailor. And as a very young Model the Tailor, I could not grow a beard. They had to glue one on me. And this one's real, and it's coming off the day after the show, or the day of the last show. What drew me to Tevye, I think since the show is so nostalgic for me, it's just a character that I've been waiting to be able to play until I was old enough or looked old enough to play that part. So I don't know, it's just exciting. And it's been a challenge to learn, but it's also been really fun at the same time. It's definitely a labor of love. I have a 45-minute commute to work every day, so that has been a lot of song study, listening to various different recordings of different people who have played Tevye, and just figuring out how I can do that and still remain true to the character, but then also not just purely emulating someone else. As far as the dialogue goes, that's been interesting. I know all the monologues. I might not start the right one at the right time, but I know all of them. I definitely have played roles that had less lines and less songs, but were more cumbersome and difficult to learn. I think because Fiddler on the Roof has always been that show that I've I've watched every now and then, or I'll listen to the album occasionally. It's been easier to pull that character back out and memorize these lines and songs than it is for an obscure character in a show that I'm not that familiar with, or I don't have that nostalgic connection to. There's not much time I am backstage, but my nose is in my book, looking 1 or 2 scenes ahead, making sure I start the right monologue at the right time and which daughter is about to go get married. I don't have any costume changes except one, and it is a fairly quick costume change. But other than that, my nose is in the book. Oh, it's been fantastic. Everyone who auditioned and got a part in this show, whether they're local or out of town, they're fantastic to work with, and it's good to see some new faces and see some new talent on stage and just what they can do. There's a place for everyone at this theater and in any community theater around the area. You don't have to be a rock star music reader to find success on the stage. As long as you're willing to put in the work and learn your part and maybe seek out help when you need it, there's a place here for everyone.